In this video, I'll be going over exactly how you're going to make your first $100,000 with high ticket reselling. Okay, I'm going to explain exactly what high ticket reselling is, how you're going to utilize it and make the most money possible. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So imagine the lifestyle you could be living right now with an extra $100,000 in your bank account. You know, it doesn't matter what age you are. You could be 16, you could be 40, you could be 70 years old. Imagine an extra $100,000 in your bank account within probably the next 6 months if you fully lock in. Like imagine what you could do with that. You know, you could literally do whatever you want, right? And I promise you, if you put in the work, you can easily achieve that. But let's get straight into it. What is high ticket reselling? So, for those of you guys who know, the traditional form of reselling, where you resell fake products like AirPods, spider hoodies, colognes, Oakley's, sunglasses, it's kind of unethical and it's kind of outdated. It's not really, you can't scale this long term. You guys already know. You know, these are fake products, right? So, what is the new wave? The new wave is actually reselling authentic items. This is something you could scale long term. But the thing is, nobody is doing this. I am the first reseller to introduce this into the market. Everybody is still, if you go on Instagram, if you go on YouTube, you're going to find so many videos about reps. Everybody's reselling reps. Well, I'm pivoting in the opposite direction and profiting even more, right? So I'm here early into this, while all these other people are just selling these reps, right? So as you can see, AirPods, whatever, I already went over. But we got downpipes, we got toilets, we got exhaust tips. We even got one-wheel hoverboards. Like, when's the last time you've seen products like these? When's the last time you've seen somebody resell a toilet? Nobody's doing this, bro. So like I said, they're fake, unethical. You're going to get a lot of returns. You're going to get banned, and the profits are not as good. But with these items that are authentic, scalable, long-term, you're not going to get any returns. They're safe to post, and you get more profits. So instead of selling fake products, you'll be selling authentic products, and you'll also be profiting a lot more because the profit margins are about $100 to $500 per flip. But listen up, it gets even better, okay? So this is just white labeled products. This is just products with no label, unbranded. Now we're getting into the actual authentic backdoored products, which I'll explain in a second. So with high ticket reselling, we also have OEM clothing suppliers. So OEM stands for Original Equipment Manufacturer, which is the original equipment manufacturer. So let's say you buy the shirt I'm wearing right here, a Chrome Heart shirt. The original equipment manufacturer is probably somewhere in China, right? That's the original equipment manufacturer because that's where they make it. There's obviously fake ones where people like make fake Chrome Heart shirts, obviously. That's not the original equipment manufacturer. That's a fake factory. That's a random factory, right? But yeah, this is not one of those fake factories I just talked about. This is actually from the real source, the real factory, the OEM factory. So these are from the real factory and they're sold to you for a wholesale price. So I'll give you guys a quick example. Let's say I bought this shirt from the OEM factory for wholesale price. Instead of going to Chrome Hearts, I went to the factory and I got it for a cheap price. That's pretty much how this works. That's pretty much what it is. So as you guys can see, we have OEM Supreme bags. This vendor has OEM Supreme bags. They also have a lot more brands, but I'm just going to be covering this specific one for this video. But yeah, as you guys can see, I paid 390 yuan. So yuan to USD. As you can see, these are real QC photos. This is exactly how it looks because it's authentic. So 390 yuan is about 55 USD. But since this is authentic, I'm getting a wholesale price. As you guys can see, this is retailing for about 187 on StockX. So I'm buying this. It's authentic. I can simply just send this to StockX and I profit about $120. That's now I'm sure you guys can see why this is so insane. And this is just one of many, right? Look at all these. Look at all these different things that you could be buying, right? So imagine, you know, you're making 120 on one item. Imagine if you have 10, right? The opportunities are endless. You could be making so much money because these are real. So you can sell it on StockX, you can sell it on Goat, you can even sell it on Grailed. You can even supply stores in person because they're authentic. These are not fake products. So that's why this is honestly probably the new wave of reselling and why it's taking over. Because a lot of these other resellers, they claim to have suppliers like this, but the only issue is they're all fake. They are all one-to-ones that they could pass. Like, they're fake products that are so good that they could pass as real. But no, this is OEM. This is actually real. So I'm not going to BS you. I'm not trying to get a sale out of you. This is me being genuine with you. This is actually the new wave of reselling, so you got to get in this early. So the earlier you get in on this, the more money you're going to be making, obviously, right? So that's why you need to get in this early because soon, I mean, more people are going to catch on. They're going to see. So the sooner you get in, the more money you're going to be making. I mean, yeah. But now let's get started. So now I'm going to teach you how to actually list these products, where to sell them, what products are best, and we're going to also talk about all the different high ticket reselling products. So starting off, you need budgets, right? I mean, some people have $20, some people have $100, some people have $500, some people have $2,000, some people have $100,000, right? Everybody ranges from, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, you can resell with any budget. You know, the more you have, the better, obviously, but you can start with any budget. So if you have $20, listen up, right? So obviously going to this, you're gonna need some money to buy some products, and depending on how much you have, will determine how much you're gonna get in sales, your ROI, so your return on investment in the beginning phase. So that's probably the most important thing in the beginning phase. The more you have, the more capital you have to start, the more money you're gonna make in long term. Because if you have $20, yes, you're eventually gonna scale up, but it's gonna take a little bit longer because your initial investment is a little slim, you know. So yeah, some of you guys are dead broke and some of you guys have a lot of money. So I'm going to explain about different situations for each of you. The best starting budget, in my opinion, is at least having $500. This is because you can buy bulk products, you can diversitize, and you can make a lot of money. So violins and RC cars, some of you guys have never seen these. These are pretty solid for selling. But yeah, if you have anything above that, perfect. If you have anything above $500, if you have $500 flat, perfect. You know, you can easily turn 500 to 2 to 3,000. Super easy. I know exactly how to do this. It's super easy, right? But yeah, you just literally resell locally, but you need to know what products to buy in order to hit those 2 to 3K in money with the $500. Those guys with money below that, like let's say $10 to $400, you got a little bit of work to do. I mean, if you're on the higher end, you're probably fine. But if you have like $10 to $50, like bro, you got to lock it, right? So I'm going to teach you how you can kind of use that money to lock in and make some more. But yeah, your goal should be getting the most capital you possibly can ASAP, right? So this is because the more money you have to start off with, the higher return on investment you will have, like I just talked about. So for example, let's say you had $200. I could easily show you how to turn that to 500. No problem. Should be pretty easy. That's a 2.5x. But if you had $500, I could easily turn that into 3K. So I'm sure you can see the difference here. 200 to 500 or 500 to 3K. Like, you see what I mean? You can make a lot more. So now I'm going to build you out kind of an action plan, or I'm going to tell you what products would probably work within your budget range for the high ticket reselling products. So if you have about $20 to $199 budget, this is kind of what you can do. You can do the drones, you can do the pearls, you could also do the moissanite. This is probably the best option for you. Like if you're on the lower end, like if you have 20 to $50, I would say ignore all of this, go straight to moissanite. If you pay $20, you could turn it to 200. So that $20 you're using, it's going to easily get you, the starting phase. It's going to get you a lot of capital in the beginning, so you can utilize that and turn it into $500 to $1,000. We got the guitars. These are about $60. So 20, 60 for the whole bundle. This is about 70, and this is about 20. But you need to buy a bunch, so the shipping's gonna be a little outrageous. So I would probably stay away from that one. The $200 to $500 budget is probably kind of the ideal range to starting off. But you can get an e-bike. This is 200. You can get the automatic cat litter box. This is actually one of the best selling items right now. You pay $80 and you sell it for 200. It's really untapped. Nobody else is doing it, but this actually surprisingly has a lot of demand because a lot of people, they have cats that, litter boxes, like a basic one. The thing is, it smells horrible, right? But if you spend $200, you'll never have to smell that again. And it's automatically picking up all the dirty poop from the cat, right? The litter. So this is literally one of the best investments, even if you're not a reseller. Like, even if I had a cat and I just, saw this on Facebook, like this would be a good investment for myself. It's not like you're solving a problem. That's what you want to do. You want to solve problems. But especially on Facebook, you got to think about the audience, the target audience. It's mainly old moms, older, elderly people. This is perfect for targeting them. So this is honestly one of the best items. $80, free shipping in the US. Crazy, crazy item. And then obviously the B58 downpipes, really good item, but you do have to buy in bulk if you want to get the best deal. And then we got the gold chains. The gold chains and bracelets, really super solid item. Pay about 30 to 40, sell it for 200 plus. Really good item. And this is for more advanced scale. This is when you have a lot of money, like just a lot of money lying down. You can get claw machines, like actual claw machines. Yes, those are really good. You can buy them for about 1 to 1.5K, and you could sell them for 2.5 to 3K. They come with I think it's called the NAIAX. It's the tap pay. So the tap pay is kind of what seals the deal. That's what a lot of these claw machines look for. The thing that the tap pay itself is about $400. So that's really like good. A lot of claw machines don't have that. They only take cash. So when you get that claw machine feature, it's more appealing, and you're more likely to get about $2,000 to $3,000 for it. We got the G-Shocks right here. Pay 500, sell for 1 to 2K. Really solid item. Got the hoverboard, the one-wheel hoverboard. You pay about 450 to 500, and you can sell it for about 1 to 1.5K. Really solid item. And then the toilets. These are really unique and really cool because you could sell it for $600, paying only 300. But you can also do an upsell on this, and you can do an installation. So if you know how to install toilets, you could charge an extra $500. So you're paying 300, you can sell it for 1K with installation fee. So this one's actually kind of unique. I really like this one, but yeah, really solid choice. So there's obviously a lot more. This is literally just me showing you guys a few of the items inside of the high ticket space, but pretty cool. And then obviously here's a few more. You could take a screenshot, you could pause the video, and you could read some of these. But like, bro, there's so many, and I'm discovering new ones every day. So by the time you're watching this, there's probably a lot more new items. I discover more probably every week or every couple of days. So as you can see, you got guitars, violins, electric scooters, electric bikes. You can, the list goes on. Even AI dogs. Like, bro, like literally a toy dog, but it's AI. Like, it's crazy. You pay $30, sell it for 80. So there's just so many different items. You guys can take a look, do whatever. But yeah, now let's talk about how you're going to actually be selling these products. So if you guys have watched my local guides, you kind of already know probably what I'm going to talk about. But I'm going to go more in depth, I guess, and I'm also going to teach the new viewers how to list. This is actually a little bit differently than the other reselling tutorials because this is high ticket reselling. So first off, you need to download the following apps. If you are international, you are not going to have OfferUp, Nextdoor, and Craigslist, and that's good, right? Because then all the people who would actually be on these apps, they just go straight to Facebook. So realistically, Facebook is just one big marketplace, which is perfect for you. It's going to save you a lot of time. For us in the US or, wherever, whatever, we have to list on 4 apps. It's, it is what it is. We're going to make money. It doesn't matter. But you need to create profiles for each of these apps, and they need to be professional. So I could honestly go on and, talk about this for 30 minutes. But if you want to go for that, it's probably better to watch another tutorial. But I gave the basic idea, the basic gist. So fake name, you want to have a fake name. Never put your real name because you don't want people, like, it's just personal info. Like, why would you give somebody your first and last name if you're going to be selling stuff? It's just kind of, I mean, you could do it, but I honestly just wouldn't recommend it. It's like, I don't want somebody knowing my full name on Facebook Marketplace. It's kind of weird. So I put a fake name, John Green, John White, Luke Smith. Just do something random. Use AI for your descriptions, okay? The description on your profile, not your actual products, your profile. So this is creating your profile if you didn't know. So fake name, use AI for your description. So you're pretending to be a dad, right? So you'd be like, hey, my name is Gerald. I'm from Arkansas and I'm 29 years old. And then you could be like, I work and I like to flip burgers. Like, it could literally be anything. Just ask ChatGPT to make it for you and you should be good to go. Profile pictures. So profile pictures are kind of important. They actually need to be pretty solid. You can either I probably wouldn't put a face because you could use Pinterest or you could Google Lens it and find it really easily or reverse search it. I would say just do something like a sunset or a scenery or the beach. Just something that's like kind of like a scenery. You know what I mean? A beach, like you get the gist, right? Just do something that is kind of beautiful and appealing, right? And then you need to put on Facebook, you need to make sure that you're putting a fake job, a fake college, a fake high school. You're pretty much just being a D1 LARP. You're LARPing to the max, right? You're pretending that you went to college, you're pretending that you went to some random high school, and you're pretending that you work at McDonald's, right? That's what you want to do. You're literally LARPing to the max. When you do the meetup, you're probably like Lucas, but like they're expecting me to be a dad. I mean, bro, at that point, you're already doing the meetup. Like, what are they gonna say? Oh, I'm not gonna do a meetup because you're not a dad. Like, you know what I mean? So if they ask a question, just say it's your dad's account. I mean, it's not gonna do anything. It's just helping you get sales. And then obviously, there's some methods and techniques you can use inside of my mentorship. I'll give you an example, but basically, you could be like, yo, thank you for buying. I don't know if you're interested in more products, but I have a lot more things. And he might be like, yeah, for sure, bro. Show me some things. Maybe you could upsell him the same meetup. So there's a lot of different methods you can use. The upsell method, same meetup. You could take down his number. You could send him some photos. You could follow him up every week with new stock. There's a lot of different methods. But if you want to get more into that, that's probably something for my mentorship. I go more in depth on that. That's linked in the description, the first link in the description. And that's where you also get the high ticket products. But we'll talk about that more later. So next up for these apps, literally the same exact thing. Fake name. Use AI for a description. And profile picture should be something random. But this one you can't LARP. There's no option to put like a job or an old high school. That's only Facebook. So yeah. And then once you create your profiles, you're obviously will have to list your products. So you will need to get access to high ticket vendors. Make sure you watch till the end of the video. I'll explain to you guys how you can get the vendors, but that's going to be right here. So at the end of the video, don't worry about this right now. I should have deleted this, but this is going to be at the end of the video. I'll talk about the high ticket vendors. So in the meantime though, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to list a high ticket item. So as you guys can see, Moissanite G-Shocks pay 500, sell for 2K. The carbon exhaust tip pay 40, sell for 200. Carbon car exhaust muffler pay 30, sell for 100. Moissanite sunglasses pay 100, sell 300 to 500. So these are really, really good items. This is just a few, right? So this is how you're going to list them, right? Number one, categories and things that you need to know. A lot of you guys kind of know, but I'm going to go more in depth. So this is so you can get the highest conversion rate possible and make the most money possible. So number one is thumbnails and photos. Since these items are authentic, you can take your own photos with no issues. So unlike my old guides that say steal photos, blah, 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 I'll tell you why you can't do that. The only problem I have with high ticket items is you cannot steal photos because realistically you're the only person selling them. Like that's proof that this is so untapped that you literally going to be printing, because who in the world is selling these items? Nobody's selling the same exact G-Shock variant you're going to be selling. Nobody's selling a dual carbon exhaust tip. Nobody's selling car exhaust mufflers. Nobody's selling Moissanite sunglasses. There's no photos to steal. You're literally the only you're competing with yourself. There's nobody else target. You're literally, it's free game. Unlike listing these fake clones, fake AirPods where you can steal photos really easily, you're literally competing with nobody. It's free money. So that's why this is so OP. So try to take the highest quality photos you possibly can. No shadows, no trash background. Make sure you sit down, you take time out of your day to take the highest quality photo you possibly can. Watch some videos, download some apps to enhance your photos. Do whatever it takes, because you cannot steal photos. So you got to actually take the highest quality photos possible for the highest conversion rate. But yeah, now that you have a good thumbnail, you're also going to need a good title and price. So as you can see, this is a pretty solid listing. I found this one on Facebook. This is actually not mine. So surprisingly, this I found on Facebook. I didn't even take this. This is a pretty solid photo. So this is actually a different state though. So yeah, the B58 downpipes, they have a little bit of people selling them, but very, very little. So it's a great item to get into. So in order to determine what a good price is and a good title, you're also going to need to know a few things. So titles must be very professional and use terms to make it seem more extreme than it really is. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, this doesn't really have an example. I'll show you. But you're also going to need to make sure that your spelling is correctly. Like today, someone called me. He was complaining about the program because he wasn't getting results. I was like, okay, bro, like, let me take a look at your listings. Let's see what's going on. Sends me his photo. This guy has not capitalized his title. His listings are on a foggy bed, like literally a bed, but with like dirt crumbs and a shadow on top. And he had multiple of the same item in the same listing, and he misspelled the word. He didn't even spell the word right. Okay, so if you guys are taking your own photos with dim lighting, with shadows on top of it, with dirt crumbs around it, you can't even properly spell the product name correctly, and you're complaining, it's like, bro, like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna complain, at least have a listing looking like this. Proper capitalization, proper title, proper price, proper photo. But if you're gonna sit here and complain when you can't even spell the word catless, or you can't even take a proper photo, I'm not even gonna reply. You know what I mean? It's just like, what are we doing? So here's an example, right? Here's an example of strong titles for your products. B58 catless downpipe. This is really solid. It's straight to the point. It covers every little detail. It's kind of extreme. You know what I mean? On the other hand, you can do 58 downpipe. This works. Don't get me wrong, it works. But it's not good, right? BMW B58 catless downpipe. This is more appealing, right? This is a better example. A lot of you guys, for some reason, just like to list it as Moissanite Ring 1.0 carat, right? I mean, it works. But if you list it as a VVS1, this is what I mean by extreme. A lot of people are like, VVS1? Yo, like, that's crazy. Like, that's extreme. That's worth so much money. Realistically, it's just another way of saying Moissanite. But a lot of people don't realize VVS1 means Moissanite. But this just sounds so nerdy and scientific that people are like, yo, like, I gotta buy this. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I mean by the extreme titles. And this is another, like, upsell method. So instead of listing it as a Moissanite ring, I describe what it is or what it could be, which is why they need to buy it, which is why it raises urgency. So I said VVS1 Moissanite, but I also said engagement ring. Right here, I'm saying ring. So this could be like just for a girl like to wear on her finger. But this right here, not only is this going to target women, but it's also going to target men because they're like, yo, an engagement ring for $200 is VVS1 Moissanite past the diamond tester. That's a steal. I'm going to buy it. So that's why you got to utilize your titles to get the highest conversion rate possible because it does help a lot. Trust me. When I used to list this Moissanite ring and switch it to this, I saw a significant amount in more sales. So this is one of the best methods. 100% would recommend. Your titles are super, super important. Remember that. But yeah, pricing. So pricing is a little bit tricky because there's several prices you can sell it at. The harsh reality is you'll never know what the best selling price is because it will always sell for high and low. So it's like you could sell it for $200, but you could also sell it for $100. But realistically, you're never going to know which price is better. It's not humanly possible to tell, right? Maybe if you did like a survey with 1,000 people and they tested it in their areas, then you could probably get a rough estimate. But you're not going to do that. So the best way to maximize your sales is having multiple accounts with different prices. So here's an example. I could sell this ring for $100. I could sell it for $200. I could also sell it for $500. But I don't know what price is going to sell the best. So I could just make 3 different accounts, sell at $100, $200, and $500. But if you just want to start, you're just dipping your toes in the water with reselling, you're just starting out, you want to always do the price in the middle. This is probably, honestly, the best selling price, but you realistically are going to get sales with the 500, also 100. So it's going to be a mix of all 3. But overall, the middle is the best, if I had to be honest. So finding the best price is always difficult, but if I had a recommendation for you, just do 200. The middle is always a sweet spot, right? So always remember that middle sweet spot. So if people are selling it on a site for $2,000 and somebody's selling it for $50, try to get in the middle, right? I mean, obviously 200 is not the middle, but you kind of get what I'm trying to say. Just compare retail price to people who are selling low and then find the spot in the middle. And then run 2 to 3 accounts like I just said. But yeah, I made a sheet with all the high ticket reselling products, the buy and sell prices. So I kind of talked about that earlier, like the list. So as you can see right here. But yeah, if you guys want to take a screenshot of like the buy and sell prices, because I know it's hard to find the sweet spot, which I just talked about for all these items. Because a lot of you guys, a lot of people text me like, yo, Lucas, what's the best price to sell this at? And, I know every price, but it's kind of frustrating because I wish I could teach you exactly how to know, but it's kind of just something like, if you know, you know. It's not like you can really know the price, exactly the best selling price. You kind of just have to know. But over time, you stay in the, I've been in this game for so long. It's like, I just know, I could just tell. I could find a product online and I'll be like, okay, I know what it's going to sell for. And it's going to sell for that price. But a lot of you beginners, you don't really know how to do that. So my advice for you is putting it in the middle. Like I just said, the sweet spot's always the middle. But again, if you guys are going to start selling the high ticket products, I recommend taking a screenshot because these are going to be the best selling prices for you. And now the last thing you're going to need is obviously a description. A valid description is always going to seal the deal. Probably one of the most important parts of your listing. And I'm going to give you a template so you have the best description possible. Because a lot of you guys, I don't know what it is, but I tell you how to do it, but you still struggle. So I'm going to give you a template so you have no excuses. So right here, this is a description for the B58 downpipe that I stole the listing, that I took a screenshot of. This is pretty solid, right? I mean, he kind of got to the point. He talked about what it is, and then he just says what it fits. Although I will be honest, this is a little long. It works. But he didn't Google Translate it, so he's missing out on a few Hispanic sales. Pretty solid description for downpipes. I didn't make it. Somebody else did. I just said that. So this is another thing. A lot of you guys in your descriptions, for some odd reason, you like to say it was a gift. You like to say it was from a friend. Just don't do that, right? It doesn't work. Trust me. If you were to buy something off somebody and they said they got off their friend, would you believe them? I mean, maybe you would, but 90% of the time it is a red flag. Sometimes people won't buy from you because they're just suspicious. So just try to avoid it. If they ask you, you're going to say that you're a reseller. I know you guys are like, but Lucas, that makes no sense. I promise you, I know it doesn't sound like it is, but when you say that you're a reseller, they just shut up. They don't ask any questions after that. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but 95% of the time, you just say you're a reseller, but they don't ask any questions. There's a 5% chance that they still will ask. They will follow up. Just say that you wholesale products overseas. End of the story, you're done. And then, it's better than saying that you got it as a friend from your friend, right? And this is also good because if you say you got it from your friend, you're not going to sell to them anymore. It's done. It's a done deal because they don't think you have any more products. So if you say you're a reseller, they're going to know that you have more stock, you have more products. So you can save their phone number and then eventually hit them up and tell them what other products you have. So don't be dumb. Don't say it was a friend. Don't say it was a gift. Just be honest with them. Tell them you're a reseller, and they're going to come back. So now for the template. So basically, all you really need to do is you need to say the product is new, and don't do no crazy nerd terms. Don't do no AI. Like just be honest. Just literally say right here, brand new underscore whatever the product is name. It is brand new and has never been used, never been worn. It just depends what it is. But feel free to ask questions, shoot offers. That's it. It doesn't need to be no crazy, yo, I just got this product from a warehouse. It's brand new, blah, blah, blah. Like, a lot of you guys just overcomplicate it. You guys start putting in scientific terms. It's like, bro, like, it's not that deep. It's literally just say it's brand new and then say that they can ask questions, shoot offers. And then that's literally all. So, for example, though, this is another thing. If it is a niche specific item, like for example, sunglasses, you would have to say something like there's no scratches on the lens. Just like little details like that, you can always adjust. Like it doesn't have to be this exact template. This is just a basic one. So you can always edit it and adjust it, but don't do anything crazy long. There's no point. But yeah, you could also go more in depth if needed. Like for example, in the downpipes, you talk about how it's a universal fit and how it fits certain models. You know what I mean? But the most important part is Google translating the description. So Google Translate to Spanish or Arabic. I'd say Spanish is always the best because with Spanish, there's a lot more Hispanics on Facebook, and I promise you that's probably the best alternative. You're gonna double your sales. Like you guys probably don't believe it, but you'll double your sales. So always do that method. It's very good. As you can see right here, you want to put the English version and then also the Google Translated version right under it, and you'll be straight. But yeah, use both in the same listing, and it's going to double your sales. All right. So that's pretty much it for the high ticket reselling, how to make 100K with high ticket reselling. But now obviously you guys are probably curious, like Luke is like, where in the world do I get access to the suppliers? So as you guys can see, I made $1.1 million with this. This is not something that just happened overnight. This was obviously over the course of about a year. This is 1 year. So this is from December 1st, 2024 to November 27th, 2025. So this was literally all in the span of a year. I'm 17 years old. I bought my dream car, as you guys can see, bought a Urus and a Corvette. So I have two of my dream cars. Soon to get probably another one, probably a property or some sort. But this is literally all thanks to high ticket reselling. So, I mean, I'm living a proof that it's possible. I just explained to you how you can do it. And obviously, the next step that you need to take is obviously starting, right? So, where do you get access to the suppliers? So, if you want to get access to the suppliers, it'll be linked in the description down below. You want to apply to work one-on-one with me. Watch the video. It's going to go over exactly what high ticket reselling is more in depth. It's kind of like what we just did. And then you'll get access to the suppliers. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, obviously the suppliers aren't free. But I do have a free vendor if you guys do want to get access to a free high ticket vendor, I guess. Maybe if you have $20, $30, you don't have any money to start. This is probably the best alternative, the free Moissanite jewelry supplier. So this will be linked to the description. You can spend $20, flip it to $200, and then with that money, you could probably start investing it into more high ticket items and then scale up from there. But yeah, obviously, like, these are not just $10 vendors. I'm not going to be giving these out for $10. This is literally something I want to keep seriously for a few amount of people. I want this to be for serious, ambitious resellers who genuinely want to take it to the next level. This is not something I'm just going to be handing out to the public. Because if I hand it out to the public for $10, it's like, bro, imagine how much people would be doing this, right? So if you're willing to invest in yourself and you're genuinely serious about this, then apply to work with me and we'll see what we can do for you. But you just don't want to miss out on this, bro. I just explained to you why it's so OP. All these other resellers are selling fake items, but you're going to be the only person on Facebook Marketplace selling these high-ticket items. You're going to be in competition with nobody. It's free bread. I mean, I even showed you guys the StockX passing suppliers. So you have no excuse. That's literally guaranteed money. That's literally an item you send in and it's going to pass. It's not like you're going to lose money. It's guaranteed money, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions for me, comment down below. Other than that, subscribe and like the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.